The spectacular Kohl Center, the site in what will be an epic Saturday for sports here in the state of Wisconsin. A sold-out Kohl Center for sure. Jordan Taylor and the Wisconsin Badgers ranked number 7 against their state rivals, Darius Johnson-Odom and the Marquette Golden Eagles, checking in at number 16 in the country. Bragging rights up for grabs. Marquette, Wisconsin, next on BTN. From Madtown, and they are rocking today at the Kohl Center, the I-94 rivalry. BTN men's basketball presented by GMC, and this afternoon it is the Marquette Golden Eagles against the Wisconsin Badgers. And hi everybody, we welcome you inside the Kohl Center. Brian Anderson, Jim Jackson. This is one of those dates. If you're a fan of basketball in the state of Wisconsin, Jim, you circle on your calendar. This is a beauty in store today.
Yeah, it's two-story programs, typically play tough games. Both have something to prove. The 6-0 Marquette Golden Eagles, that they are as good as their record indicates, but also Wisconsin coming off a tough loss against the North Carolina 6-1.
Well, news with Marquette right out of the gates. Junior guard Junior Cadogan will miss today's game due to a violation of team rules. That means Derek Wilson, a freshman point guard, will get the start for Buzz Williams and the Golden Eagles. They're coming off a win Monday against Jacksonville. Meanwhile, Wisconsin, this is game number 8 for them. Wisconsin is 6-1, the same starting 5 for all 7 previous. It is Jordan Taylor leading the way, Josh Gosser, Ryan Evans, Mike Bruzewitz, and Jared Bergeron. And a series that dates back to 1917, the 118th matchup between these two programs. And we've got a great environment for college basketball today as we wrap up our triple header of basketball on BTN, ready to tip it off, and away we go from the Kohl Center.
Yeah, Brian, I'm interested to see the energy and the body language of the Wisconsin Badgers coming off a tough loss, a game that they thought they should have won if they would have shot better. So it's going to be interesting to see how they start this game.
Wisconsin, a tough loss in Chapel Hill against North Carolina, a 60-57 loss as Johnson-Odom lets the first one go. A battle inside and a whistle underneath. O'Toole going to the line. Foul on Wisconsin.
The Wisconsin foul was on Jordan Taylor.
Jordan Taylor picks up the foul. There's Bo Ryan. Season number 11 here in Madison. A perfect 10 for 10 going to the NCAA tournament. On to Bo Ryan. And there's Buzz Williams, his 4th year as the head man at Marquette. Took over for Tom Crean prior to the 09 season. Marquette is a team that ran the tables in the month of November. Buzz Williams' club with a perfect 6-0 in November. They won the Paradise Jam. They get to the free throw line a lot. This will be a big part of their game today against the Badgers. And they've broken out the Baby Blues today, a special occasion uniform for Marquette.
Well, it's a big game, and it's important that this Marquette team, yes, being 6-0, but you know as well as I do, playing against Wisconsin, it's all about patience, consistency, taking care of the basketball. Even with the fast-paced and up-tempo team that Marquette is, you have to be smart.
This is going to be the key matchup today. Derek Wilson, the freshman from Alaska, matching up against the All-America candidate, Jordan Taylor. That's a big loss for Marquette, losing their starting point guard. We'll see how they respond to it as Bruzewitz has that one knocked away. And here come Marquette. They always want to push, and Johnson-Odom goes strong to the basket. And a rebound right away knocks it back. Vanderblue, who received a rousing round of boos when he was introduced today. The native of Madison, went to Madison Memorial.
Yeah, 2 big things on that. One, transition, being able to get out before Wisconsin's defense is set, but also for Vanderblue. Important to get a layup early to kind of knock those jitters and nerves off of himself.
Vanderblue's first game here as a collegiate at the Kohl Center as Ryan Evans gets the Badgers started.
Another great sign for Wisconsin because Ryan can hit that 12 to 15-foot jump shot, and that extends and stretches the defense as well when he's consistent from there.
O'Toole walks with it. Turnover, Marquette, Wisconsin ball. Now Bo Ryan, 28th overall season 64 years of age in December. He's had amazing success here in Wisconsin. As a matter of fact, inducted into the Wisconsin Coaches Hall of Fame this October. He was also inducted into the Pennsylvania State Sports Hall of Fame in October as well. Starting to be recognized for all of his great accomplishments. And he has his Badgers ranked 7th in the country this week. Tough loss in Chapel Hill, as Taylor unable to finish at the rim. We're seeing a lot already in the first few possessions. Vanderblue, Darius Johnson-Odom handling the basketball. And we'll probably see a lot of that as we continue, minus the starting point guard, Junior Cadogan.
Yeah, and Cadogan hurts because now you put Darius Johnson-Odom in a situation where he has to make more plays. You want to rely on his scoring ability, so they're going to substitute Blue and Odom at that position.
All right, Jimmy, how about your peak keys to victory today?
Well, Marquette defensive rebound. They're doing a poor job letting teams in offensive rebound against Wisconsin that will kill you. Late clock D. Late in the shot clock, how you guard your pick and roll is where Wisconsin is at their best. You have to contain and talk. Wisconsin contain the dribble drive. Transition-wise, in the half-court situation, Marquette is really going to look to get inside of the lane. But transition D, Marquette is averaging 88 points a game. That means a lot of their baskets come in transition. You have to have great defensive balance once you shoot the basketball on offense.
Interesting scene here early. Pat Driscoll bringing Vanderblue and Jordan Taylor together. Some words exchanged. And two great competitors. Blue in his sophomore season. Taylor, a senior here at Wisconsin. And that's going to be a foul on Jay Crowder. A touch foul called by Pat Driscoll right away. You can tell there's a little something between these two teams, and these referees are going to call it tight in the beginning. We expected as much.
Well, the referees understand that the in-state matchup with Wisconsin and Marquette is going to be competitive and is going to be tough. So it's going to be important that the players understand that and adjust the way they play to how the referees are going to call. And Jay Crowder cannot pick up a cheap foul like that in the backcourt. Ultimately, that hurts his team.
There's Ryan Evans going to the rim, passes it up to Bergeron, has it knocked away. Active hands by Marquette. Todd Mayo just into the game a moment ago. There's a quick replacement for Derek Wilson as Crowder gets loose for three. Crowder was red hot against Jacksonville on Monday, made 4 3-pointers. This is his first. The incredible differences between the two teams here, Wisconsin and Marquette, and this is something Wisconsin is used to facing on a nightly basis.
Yeah, and part of it is that Wisconsin is a very solid defensive team, but their offense is their best defense because by playing patient, they force teams when they get offensively minded to take quick shots because they're frustrated by guarding the shot clock for 25 to 30 seconds.
This is Marquette's, or rather Wisconsin's, 3rd consecutive game as Johnson is hit with a foul. But it's the 3rd consecutive game for Wisconsin where they have matched up against an opponent that is scoring 80-plus points per game. They have BYU last Saturday, North Carolina, of course, Wednesday, and now Marquette. High-powered offenses.
Well, the thing that's not going to change is the way Wisconsin plays. You're going to have to make an adjustment to them. They're not changing their style of play at all.
Todd Mayo matches up with Jordan Taylor now. They put Wilson on Bruzewicz, and right away Wisconsin gets Bruzewicz on the block.
And this is where they want Mike to get back. That's where last year he made his mark doing the dirty work inside, getting to the free throw line. They want to see more post-ups, getting inside and scoring and finishing for Mike Bruzewicz.
Jamil Wilson gives him some length inside at 6'7". And Wilson is on his way out. Vanderblue checks back in.
Well, yeah, the post-up position right here. Bruzewicz inside. But one thing he can also do is make a play.
So Ryan Evans answers for Wisconsin. The point guard experiment in the early going is being adjusted quickly by Buzz Williams. Back is Blue. And 3 guards on the floor now as Evans pulls down rebound. Ryan Evans had a big day against North Carolina Wednesday. Evans pulled down 7 boards against the much taller Tar Heels. Bergeron gets loose inside.
And that's the play where people say the swing offense. Wisconsin doesn't like to attack. Prime example, getting the ball up quick, exploiting the defense.
O'Toole in traffic. And it's tied up, a held ball, and that is Wisconsin basketball. So the Wisconsin Badgers with a quick answer as they go to the timeout. Jared Berggren continues his impressive 2011 season. Well, when was the last time you did something for 118 years? More on this historic rivalry when we come back. Rivalry, this is game number 118. It was dominated by Marquette back in the Al McGuire days. They won 14 straight at one point, back when Marquette was known as the Warriors. Michael Finley and the Badgers, Dwayne Wade for Marquette. The Tom Crean era has come and gone. Now it's Buzz Williams and Bo Ryan, and 79 miles separating Marquette, downtown Milwaukee, and the University of Wisconsin here in Madison. It's a great rivalry, and we're excited to be a part of it today.
No, we are, and it's interesting that from a recruiting perspective, they very rarely overlap in regards to the guys that they recruit. Vanderbilt is an exception to that rule, but you think that because they're so close that they would be competing for the talent in the state, but they're two different programs with two different philosophies. Different
kinds of players that each coach looks for. The Vanderbilt story is a big one today, and we'll get into that. He is from Madison, went to high school at Memorial as Gosser goes to the lane, and he is fouled. Gosser will go to the line. Josh Gosser knows all about this rivalry from Port Washington, Wisconsin.
And this was a point of emphasis right here for the Golden Eagles. Late shot clock defense. That time you got a chance for Gosser to exploit himself off the dribble on a post player, a situation that Marquette does not want to see themselves into too often.
Well, the noise you hear from the crowd is not blue, but boo, and he expected as much today. He committed to Wisconsin out of high school. He played a state championship game right here at the Kohl Center, and he made that commitment and then changed his mind. He decommitted to Wisconsin and instead signed with Marquette. Wanted to play for Buzz Williams, and a lot of bad blood, bad feelings about that around these parts with Vanderbilt, and he knows it's important to check his emotions at the door. Darius Johnson-Odom, the leader of this Marquette team, spoke about that before the game. Said, I'm not sure how much I need to talk to him, but he certainly knows he's got to play under control today.
Well, that's why it was important that he got that layup early to kind of shake the jitters off. And some players react to the situation a lot differently, but so far he's been under control. He hasn't let the emotions get to him or say that I have to prove something to the Wisconsin fans, which a lot of young men will do.
He's getting the tough draw with Taylor now as Ben Bruss just into the game. This is a three-pointer. The Badgers, to be successful throughout the course of the season and on into the tournament, if they should get there, they're going to have to shoot from behind the arc. That's their bread and butter this year at this point.
Well, two things. I think one, knocking down open jump shots, which they have done up to the point of the North Carolina game, but they have to find someone else that is able to create off the dribble, especially late in the shot clock when Jordan Taylor doesn't have the ball in his hands.
Wisconsin shooting over 44% from behind the arc. Good pass to Gosser, and that will not count. It's going the other way. Gosser's asking if the defender was inside the restricted area. Terry Weimer had the call, says no.
Well, it was, first of all, it was great offensive execution, but it was better defense because the rotation now came over. DJO stepped in, took the charge, feet outside of the semicircle, which now gives the referee a better indication if there was a charge, it was set. So it worked to the advantage that time of Marquette.
Offensive foul on Gosser. Marquette ball with just over 14 minutes remaining in the first half. Wisconsin on an 8-0 run, and they have another traveling violation on O'Toole, his second. Or check that, Devon Gardner with a travel. So twice Marquette big men walking with the basketball in the paint.
And against a team like Wisconsin, you can't turn the ball over like that because your possessions are going to be reduced anyway by how Wisconsin plays offensively. So when you have opportunities, especially deep in the post, take your time and be able to convert with the basket or get to the free throw line.
Boy, Taylor had a wide open look. Unable to connect. Here's Vanderbilt. So silky smooth in and out. 3 chances added for Marquette. Johnson-Odom being hounded by Gosser. And now for three. Darius Johnson-Odom misses. Evans pulls it down. Evans has been big on the boards this year. Finally in a starting role consistently for Bo Ryan's Wisconsin Badgers.
Well, that's searching and finding other ways that you can help your team. You see a turnover right there. But Ryan understood, too, that in order to be on the court, there's some other things that I have to do to help my team, and rebounding is a big key.
Just a reminder, this week on BTN.com, don't miss any exciting hoops action. Go to video.btn.com this week. Check out our upcoming basketball schedule. Go to video.btn.com for more information. Brian Anderson with Jim Jackson and our terrific crew here in Madison, Wisconsin. Mayo to the basket. That will fall. To the line he goes. Todd Mayo. Ben Brust charged with a foul.
Yeah, this time they wanted to isolate Mayo on Brust on the weak side, cleared it out, gave him room to drive. Again, this Marquette team really wants to attack you off the dribble, force you to play defense, and as you come over to help, that's when they can drive and kick for an open three.
Marquette goes on a scoring drought of nearly 6 minutes as Mayo, the younger brother of O.J. Mayo, the Memphis Grizzlies, connects for the three-point play. And it's 8-6 Wisconsin. The Badgers went on an 8-0 run before Marquette finally gets one on the board. Derek Wilson back in to guard Taylor. Has a foul. Wisconsin getting deep into the shot clock, and they are about as comfortable deep in the shot clock as any team in the country. Kaminsky finds Bruzewicz. Reverse, no. Kaminsky, no. Marquette pushing it. Darius Johnson-Odom. And Bruzewicz running the floor for the board.
Man, both teams got the shots that they wanted. Neither can convert. Now Wisconsin has another opportunity.
Kaminsky finishes it off. Wisconsin beating Marquette at their own game in transition.
Yeah, Marquette that time kind of playing peekaboo after they missed. Nobody got back in transition. Now you give up an easy layup for Wisconsin.
And an easy finish for Devontae Gardner. The 6'8" sophomore goes just shy of 300 pounds. Getting some early minutes here for Chris O'Toole. Ben Brust out to Gosser.
And you see Wisconsin with a three-guard offense, spread you out, penetrate, use the swing to their advantage, but also bigs, as you can see, can step out and shoot. That means you have to guard everyone on the court. You can't lay back off any of the Wisconsin players.
And a staple of a Bo Ryan offense and a Bo Ryan program is Jay Crowder. Snakes in the lane for a basket. Nicely done. Good take by Crowder. Crowder coming off a 27-point game. Hit 4 3-pointers against Jacksonville. And all tied up at 10 apiece. Timeout on the floor here.
And who says Wisconsin doesn't get out in transition? It's methodical in what they do. When they have an opportunity, they can get out and run and convert and score. But here, this is where Wisconsin talks about dribble penetration. Crowder able to take his man off the dribble, being that in-between kind of player that Crowder is. At 6'7", maybe sometimes the 4 is a little too big. He can beat him off the dribble. If not, he can step back and shoot the jump shot. So you have an advantage with Crowder right there playing 15 feet and in.
Well, Marquette with that 6-0 start playing team basketball to the hill. You see the improvement for Jay Crowder, getting a lot more shot opportunities. Certainly the minutes are up, but averaging just shy of 20 points a game. Darius Johnson-Odom averages 19.8. Those are the top 2 scorers, and Buzz Williams is quick to point out that they're also the 2 leaders on this team, and they're the reason why Marquette is off to this great start and feeling like they're going to make a run in the Big East this year.
Yeah, but what you didn't see there with Jay Crowder is that the reason why he's able to be an effective driver, shooting 48.3%, or 43.8% from three-point line.
Vanderblue hit with a foul. We'll take a timeout. Wisconsin basketball when we come back from the Kohl Center. BTN Basketball is brought to you in part by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. By Peak Antifreeze. When you peak, you win. And by Culligan. Better water, pure and simple. Cold, rainy Saturday in Madison. It is a great day to get on the couch or at your favorite establishment and watch some great sports today here in the state of Wisconsin. Wisconsin Marquette, Buzz Williams having a conversation with the referees. He and Bo Ryan have both been what we call vocally active, Jim. Is that a good way to put that?
Well, you can say that, but it's a way that you work the referee. You have to master this craft, right? You start to work the referees early about things that you want to happen. So later on in the game, you may get that call, but it starts early in the game, and both Buzz and especially Bo are masters at this type of tactic.
That's the first time since 2006 that these teams have matched up while both ranked. Wisconsin has won the last 2 matchups, and Wisconsin has won 9 of the last 13. As Brust fires a 3 off the back iron, Bergen fighting for it, and it's Wilson who pulls down the rebound.
Yeah, and very close matchups. Last year's game was decided by 2 points, so you know they know each other well. They understand the philosophies, but in games like this where they're close, you say, well, down the stretch, what do we do? How do we execute? Those are the things that's going to get you those wins. It's not the last shot. It's things that you do through the course of the game that keep you involved and give you the best chance to win.
Brusewitz pulls it back. A foul underneath. Vanderblue hit with his 2nd foul. Foul's been Brust. Look at the hops of Vanderblue. Wow. Jumped over him.
That was, you know, young kid, you know, I'm jealous because young kids now are so much more athletic than what we were with a lot of the training methods. But he could be a long jump kind of guy on that one right there. Triple jump, long jump.
His leaping ability won't do him any good right now on the bench. Looking for the alley-oop. Left that one short for Evans. Derek Wilson out to Johnson Odom. They'll whip it around. The trend here is holding true. Marquette wants to get a shot off early in the shot clock, as quick as they can typically, while Marquette content to let it go deep into the shot clock, usually under 10 seconds.
Well, they are. And Wisconsin did a great job of transition defense, not allowing Marquette to get to the basket. But, of course, you know that's one thing Marquette wants to do is get out and run, shoot a quick shot, great offensive execution there. But you have to be patient, Ryan. You have to be patient and take advantage of the opportunities when you get them, and not turn the basketball over and not take bad shots.
That's the first shot for Marquette inside 10 on the shot clock. That looked like a goaltend. Taylor is there for the putback. That ball looked like it was headed on the way down. Instead, the basket credited to Jordan Taylor. And here's Darius Johnson Odom. Looked like Gosser got a piece of that. Now Wisconsin wants to run. Good pass to Brust. Goes up strong, knocked away. And Wilson will be called for the foul. Derek Wilson with his 2nd now.
Great dribble drive penetration by Ben Brust here, but at the last minute, a block shot. Marquette just didn't react to the ball. Now in transition, Jordan Taylor gives it up to Ben again. A great job of shielding his body, being able to draw contact and now get to the free throw line again. You don't think about this Wisconsin team as a fast break transition team, but they're opportunistic and they usually convert at a high clip in transition.
Got some size coming in for Buzz Williams. Jay Crowder is back along with Devontae Gardner. Also Jamel Jones checking in as well. So Buzz Williams having to go deep into his rotation in the absence of Junior Cadogan. And if you're just joining us, the Marquette starting point guard is out today. Will miss this game due to a violation of team rules.
And when you make a substitution like that, it throws off your offensive rhythm. Cadogan did certain things well on the court. He got everybody in position. He was a playmaker. Now when you have to substitute and put players that are not accustomed to playing that role for an extended period of time, it does affect your continuity on the offensive end.
Johnson Odom. Rob Wilson matching up with him. Johnson Odom so strong. He's left-handed. And he is so powerful going to the rim. He's also a terrific three-point shooter. He's averaging nearly 20 a game. And Darius Johnson Odom with 4 in this one to start out.
You know, we called that play right there, Brian. Great D, better O. And it was great defense by Rob Wilson. He's in the right position.
Offensive board Ryan Evans. That was a big story last year when these two teams match up. It seemed like for Wisconsin, they continue to get the offensive rebounds deep into the shot clock, frustrating Marquette.
Well, then you have to defend again for another 25 to 30 seconds, and rebounding is a premium defensively, especially against Wisconsin.
Evans throws it away. And more substitutions here for each team. Don't forget, tonight BTN brings you extensive coverage of tonight's inaugural football championship game. Live from Indianapolis, we cover the big game from every angle. Make sure you stay with us for expanded pre- and post-game analysis before and after the game. Coming up right after our game here, post-game coverage after the broadcast. Boy, what a great matchup that is going to be. Michigan State, Wisconsin, and the first ever Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, based off the last game with the Hail Mary at the end.
A battle underneath. They had a little pushing and shoving going on. Some big bodies bouncing around under there. Devontae Gardner is going to the line.
It's a lot of beef down there.
Take a timeout. Free throws for Marquette. When we come back, we'll find out what took the Badgers 103 years to finally accomplish. All tied at 14, Marquette and Wisconsin on the Big Ten Network. Great to have you with us this afternoon. Very entertaining ball game so far. There's Bo Ryan. He is approaching a milestone, a school record. He's 17 wins away to tie a school record, to tie the great Bud Foster. And Bo Ryan, today's Culligan Pure and Simple difference maker. What a career he has had here in Madison.
Well, look at this number here, 714, okay, in the conference play. That says a lot. That speaks volume of what Bo has been able to accomplish during his tenure here at Wisconsin. And if you think about the way they play and the players that have played in this program, they're typically guys that are going to grow from their freshman year to their senior year. And you're going to see the improvement in those young men, i.e. John Lure, okay, Jordan Taylor. And they play a system and a style that everybody's not comfortable with playing, and they don't know how to execute against. And that's what gives Bo the advantage. Besides, he understands how to coach.
And has made a great career coaching basketball in the state of Wisconsin. Platteville to started 3 national championships. We showed you that 1941 banner, the lone NCAA championship. That was Bud Foster's Wisconsin Badgers. As Bruzewicz for 3, the soft rims at the Kohl Center paying dividends for Mike Bruzewicz.
And, you know, if you've ever been to a Wisconsin practice, everybody spends a lot of time shooting 15, 18, 22 feet. Because within this system, you have to be able to do that, especially if you're a big off the pick and roll.
First three-pointer of the game for either team. As Bruzewicz comes right back with a rebound. Mike Bruzewicz with 0 points in 19 minutes against North Carolina. Badgers need him to be much more of a factor offensively, especially, as Jimmy mentioned earlier, inside the paint. He needs to be the bruiser that his nickname indicates.
Well, he was that energy guy last year, the one that just dove at everything, got his nose battered, his knees were dirty, offensive rebounds. That's what Mike Bruiser brought to the table last year. Now, in this particular instance, a little over-aggressive with the foul, but a lot of times when you make a little, you get comfortable shooting jump shots, sometimes you kind of go away from your strength. And they encourage him to shoot it, but we want to see you back inside being the Mike Bruzewicz we saw last year.
Bruzewicz will take a seat with his first foul. Wisconsin by a point after that three-pointer by Bruzewicz. And Berggren matching up inside with Gardner. Marquette has not yet been able to get free inside. They've had a couple of looks, a couple of trips to the free throw line as well. As Blue rips the cords for 3. The first three-pointer by Marquette.
And it was just that little hesitation of Jordan Taylor backing off that gave Vanderblue the opening to step up and make the jump shot. I'll go back to this. Making that layup early relaxed Vanderblue a lot more than what you would have thought of with all the pressure he had on him today.
Blue, a much more confident player this year, and that's going to be a block underneath. Gardner going for the flop offensive foul call. Didn't get it. Ed Hightower not buying in.
Well, great defense initially. Patience by Marquette. Just laying back too much. See, no pressure from Jordan Taylor. Didn't expect Vanderbilt to step back and hit that three, but you can't do it. Now, on the defensive end of the court, pretty good position right there, but moving slightly to the right allowed the referee to call a blocking foul.
Now they cannot hit the free throw, and Odom flying down the lane, loses the handle, and it's going to be a foul, a tripping call. I believe they got Jordan Taylor on that. We'll see here. Possibly Ben Brust. Looks like Brust is going to get hit with a foul.
But watch the smart play. He attacks DJ. Attacks the middle. Incidental contact, but it did affect the play here. Let's see if he. It looked like he just tripped over his own feet. And that's what Bo is arguing at that particular point. But it's just a tough angle from the referee's perspective. He saw feet getting tangled up, assumed it was probably from the defender and not from the offensive player.
Johnson Odom will go to the line. Bo Ryan still looking for an explanation here, and one thing it does show you is just how explosive Darius Johnson Odom is. He can absolutely go with the basketball in his hands.
He puts so much pressure on you as a defender, and it's especially in transition. If you're not in the back pedal position and you're running full speed with him, his power and strength allows him to get inside of you, and he can absorb the contact and finish.
The lefty knocks down the first free throw. He's done a great job, Darius Johnson Odom, coming out of community college down in Kansas and Hutchinson, and he is on a pace to get his degree in May. He'll have his degree from Marquette in communications. Says one day he'd like to get into the broadcasting business. And he is a fantastic player, developed into a great leader here for Buzz Williams.
Right, and it's a chance for him not only to play major college basketball on a high level, but to get his degree and create an opportunity that will be with him for the rest of his life.
Bergeron for three. Mayo skies for the rebound. Wisconsin outside the Bruzewicz three-pointer, unable to get going, and Blue just goes straight to the glass. Wow. Talk about explosive.
And what I like about that, exploited the defense before Wisconsin was able to get set. No defensive rotation, was able to get there in time to avert the layup.
Foul on Crowder. Back the other way. Marquette stretching it out a little bit here.
Yeah, but watch. Just pushing the ball up the court right now. Inside-out move on Mike Bruzewicz. And again, in transition, the defense wasn't set. So normally you would have weak side post position, rotate over, either block a shot and take a charge. But by being in transition, they weren't in position to do that.
Jordan Taylor will shoot a pair. Free throw woes continue for Wisconsin. Wisconsin this year shooting just 60% from the free throw line. Last year they led the NCAA in free throw shooting. They were up over 80%. Matter of fact, had one of the highest free throw shooting percentages in the history of the NCAA. Second highest percentage ever. Hasn't been the story this year for him, and it's been a problem for Bo Ryan's team.
Well, if you think about it, Keith Nankinville, also John Lure, great free throw shooters. They drew a lot of contact, especially John Lure, and they were able to convert when they got to the free throw line.
Johnson Odom looking for help. A steal by Evans. Here comes Taylor. On a spin, he goes himself. Bruzewicz there, keeps it alive, but with the rebound is Gardner. Marquette pushing it. Here's Mayo. Mayo goes through Evans. It's in. It's a foul. Marquette going to the line.
Transition defense, having balance. When that shot goes up, even if it was your guard, the players that were in transition have to get back, load into the paint, and right there, not in position to stop dribble penetration. And Ryan Evans has to do a better job of forcing Blue to the baseline. Once you get to the middle, it's virtually impossible to stop a player with the quickness and athleticism of Blue. Of Mayo, I mean.
You got Blue, Mayo, Johnson Odom. These Marquette guards are just flying by Wisconsin defensively. So not being with their starting point guard today, Junior Cadogan, has not been an issue so far for Marquette.
Well, it hasn't hurt them transition-wise because they have players, multiple players who can get out and go and finish.
Johnson Odom trips, and what do we got? Travel. Traveling violation on Johnson Odom. Just got the engine revved up a little too hot that time.
Yeah, he tried that little Euro step with the 1-2, but he did lose control. But another example of getting out in transition.
There's Junior Cadogan. He is the #1 cheerleader today for Marquette. So far, the lack of depth in the backcourt for Marquette has not been a story. Largest lead for the Golden Eagles on the road. Their first true road game of the season. Their other games away from the Bradley Center have been neutral sites. There's a blocking violation, so now Johnson Odom with a foul.
You know, the thing I've been impressed with this Marquette team is that because they have depth, you have at least 7 Golden Eagles averaging 6.5 points, but you don't lose much when you make those rotations. And that's something the coaching staff at Marquette talked about, is that the maturity, the depth has allowed us to continue to roll even when we bring our starters out the game.
Vanderblue back in. Devontae Gardner will check in with him. I think you hit on a good point there, Jim. You said it earlier, too. Blue coming into this environment. The fact that he hit his first shot, it freed him up a little bit. He's having a nice game here so far. And Blue with the basketball as Taylor knocks down a couple of free throws. 6-point Marquette lead with the ball. 4:20 remaining in the first half.
Yeah, big possession right now for Marquette. Can they extend the lead? For Wisconsin, they tried that clear out play on that side for Blue, but one of those possessions where you can take a stand. Do you go down 8 points if you're Wisconsin, or do you make a defensive stand, come back offensively, and kind of get your rhythm going that way?
Well, Marquette is in the bonus here, and a foul on the floor as Juan Anderson checks in for Darius Johnson Odom. And Blue is back on the line. Misses the first, and Bergeron with a rebound. Here comes Wisconsin with a chance to cut it within 4, perhaps 3. And Mayo lets Taylor go by him, and what's the call? Going the other way. Offensive foul. That was close to the restricted area, but Taylor charged with a foul, his second.
Well, let's see defensive position. First, too much dribble penetration. Is it a charge? Is it not? Is he in position? Is his body moving? He looks pretty set right there. Marquette is doing a good job of closing down the driving lanes. A lot of times, that could be an easy basket for Jordan Taylor. Maybe next time he thinks about, since they are rotating, I'll pull up for my little floater or jump shot once I get into the lane.
Todd Mayo will run the point here, and that's going the other way. Offensive foul on Wilson. It's going to be Wisconsin ball as we take a timeout. Buzz Williams can only smile and laugh at that call. Does not agree. Vanderblue knifing by in his hometown, having a big impact on this game. Six-point Marquette lead. The student section here, the Grateful Red here at the Kohl Center, and a sold-out Kohl Center. See the field goal story so far, Marquette and Wisconsin. Haven't seen a lot of the three-point success so far. State Farm State a success for today's game. The Wisconsin Badgers, their 23 straight home game winning streak is on the line here today. Earlier, we saw Ohio State extend their home winning streak to 30 in a row with a win over UT Pan American.
Well, Brian, you do a lot of Wisconsin games. You know how hard it is to come into this building and walk out of here with a win. It's rarely done. So to see Marquette playing the way they are, up right now with less than 4 minutes to go in the first half says a lot about the preparation and attention to detail that this team is showing right now.
Shot clock winding down. Wisconsin has to go quickly here. It's down to 3. Bergeron looking for help. Brust for 3. And no good. Juan Anderson pulls down the rebound. It's only his second game. He was suspended for the first 3 games. Mayo fires. And there's Anderson again. Another rebound.
Yeah, and that's that situation on that Wisconsin possession where no one really was able to create a shot. And with Jordan Taylor out of the game, that's when you really have to execute your offense to get the kind of shot you want within the time frame where you don't have to force anything into the shot clock.
Vanderblue drops it off to Wilson. Got it. Jamil Wilson out of Racine, Wisconsin, a transfer from Oregon. Many feel who follow Marquette that he's going to be an impact-type player for the Golden Eagles. Still trying to find his role right now, but he's got a lot of length and a lot of athleticism.
Yeah, and that's a prime example where dribble penetration breaks down your defense, and guess what? You help, you leap someone open for an open three. Marquette was able to capitalize off a great dribble drive.
And Wilson fouling Bruzewicz.
And coaches talk about all the time keeping the ball out of the paint, but right now Vanderblue right inside. You have to help. You present yourself at an opening if you're a perimeter player to get an open jump shot. And that's one of the strengths of this Marquette team, by having guards who can kind of put their head down and create and get inside the lane. You have to help. Now you have open jump shots. You just got to knock them down.
And the free throw struggles ongoing as Wilson now with 2 fouls. He will stay for the time being. Don't forget, our State Farm halftime report is coming up. A lot to talk about today. This is the third of our triple header of college basketball on BTN today. Missed them both, did Bruzewicz. And Marquette, chance to go up double digits.
You know, the question comes into play, is there a lingering effect off the loss to North Carolina? I say no. Bo prepares his team well, but sometimes matchup, as you see a one-on-one opportunity, sometimes favors different teams. This is a matchup problem with Marquette because they have quick guards, post players who can go off the dribble and make plays and make jump shots, and they like to get out in transition. So sometimes it's more about the matchups and how you execute rather than some kind of lingering effect from a loss.
Well, Jamil Wilson was injured. He pulled down that rebound and was fouled, and he cannot shoot the free throws here. So Wilson is struggling with his hand, his wrist.
Well, he has to be in pain because really, for a player to say he can't shoot the free throws and get an opportunity to make points, it must be something serious.
Let's see if we can pick something up here. Wilson coming in from the backside.
Well, rebound right here gets tangled up with Bruzewicz, and sometimes it doesn't take a lot, Brian, for an injury like this to happen. Let's see where he gets tangled up right up underneath.
So Bo Ryan will select the shooter, the opposing coach, in a scenario like this. So Jamil Wilson cannot shoot, and Jamel Jones will shoot the free throws, courtesy of Bo Ryan. Jamel Jones has not attempted a free throw this year. Actually, Jones now 0 for 2 from the line, has not had a make this year. Otule is in.
And see, that's where your assistant coaches have to be real quick. Who's the worst free throw shooter that we can get on the line to get in the game real quick to take advantage of that rule?
So the first free throw made for Jamel Jones, as Jamil Wilson is in a whole lot of pain on that Marquette bench. His status in the second half in question right now.
And Brian, you do a lot of Wisconsin games. Are you surprised right now that Wisconsin has made, that Marquette has been able to come in here and kind of establish the way they want to play?
Absolutely. It doesn't happen very often against Wisconsin in this building. And that's going the other way. Marquette had a chance to add to it. But Wisconsin is so good at home. We showed you the numbers, the 23 in a row. The last time they lost was against Illinois. It was like 3 years ago. Tough venue to play, but Marquette is off to a great start. They've carried a lot of that momentum forward. Good look inside. Gasser around and out. Hung on the rim for a while. Gasser's going to the line.
And that's where the advantage of having a great three-point shooter like Gasser. Now you set up the back door because they're used to them staying in the corner. You clear the backside. Gets to the basket, a great pass by Brust inside. Get a minute 30 left in the half. You score 2, you get a stop, you have a chance to score again, you go into halftime with some momentum, and then you make the adjustments to what you need to do better in the second half.
Now, we were talking to Bo Ryan before the game. One of the things Wisconsin wanted to do today, a stated goal, was penetrate a little more, get to the free throw line, but get a little more activity in the block. It seems like they're doing that, but they're not having much success doing that because their outside shooting game has not been there like we've seen so far for Wisconsin.
And what you lose, like with a guy like John Lure, you can put him mid-post and he can draw fouls. So now you're in the penalty earlier.
There's Bergen with a hustle play, turned it over. Minute 15 left. Brust wants to move it. Gosser passes up a 3, gives it back. And now Wisconsin trying to find somebody free. It goes right through the hands of Bruzewicz, and a turnover for the Badgers.
Rare to see because I thought Gosser had the shot off the dribble penetration. Now it results into a lost opportunity.
It's been over 7.5 minutes since Wisconsin's last field goal.
Yeah, and you don't really see that from a Wisconsin team trying to find a rhythm offensively where they can score, where they can get into their sweet spot. So it'll be interesting to see the adjustment that this Badger team makes at halftime.
They got Juan Anderson in the game, Jamel Jones, a couple of guys who don't see a lot of minutes. Here's Blue. And that's out of bounds on Bergeron. Marquette gets a new 35.
And Marquette is doing a great job of executing their offense. They're passing 1, 2, 3, now getting their shot in spots and locations where they want, they feel comfortable.
Well, Marquette has come in and established themselves here at the Kohl Center in Madison, and this is a ball game that could go back and forth. You figure with Wisconsin's shooting ability, and they have relied heavily on the three-point shot this year, but it vacated them against North Carolina, and they haven't really been free for those shots here tonight against Marquette.
Marquette is doing a very good job of closing out and running Wisconsin off the three-point line, but in transition, they're getting out, they're running, they're exploiting the off-balance or not being balanced by Wisconsin, creating second shots. But offensively, too, they're getting the shots, Marquette, that they want to. So it's going to be interesting to see, like I said, the adjustment that Bo Ryan and his coaching staff makes at halftime to come back out in the second half and kind of reestablish the way Wisconsin wants to play.
Marquette, according to their head coach, Buzz Williams, is as deep as they have ever been in the Buzz Williams era. This is his 4th year. He loves his rotation. It goes 8 to 10 deep at times. He has a lot of versatile pieces. Actually has some size this year in the middle as well, and that depth starting to show up. It seems like a different guy is able to control on various possessions. You have Vanderblue having a nice game. Todd Mayo, Darius Johnson-Odom hasn't even gotten loose yet. He's a guy that's averaging nearly 20 a game for him.
But when your best players are leaders and they work hard, it trickles down to everybody else, and that's what you see with Marquette.
Shot clock to 9. Vanderblue patiently waiting, going to try to take Brust off the dribble. There's a screen, and Blue has it knocked away. Back with a rebound and the board is Devontae Gardner. And Marquette, a very impressive first half. A 10-point lead as Gardner cleans up the miss by Vanderblue.
High pick and roll, exploiting the mismatch against Jerry Bergman. He has to be up on that screen and stop the dribble penetration.
So Marquette trying to keep their perfect record intact. The 10-point lead after one half of play. Now let's go to Mike Hall, Sean Morris. They're in the studio in Chicago for the State Farm halftime report. Just about ready for half number 2 at the Kohl Center in Madison. Marquette with a 10-point lead. Marquette with a basketball to start this second half. The three-point shooting story. First 6 games through the BYU victory. One of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, Wisconsin. But in the last 3 halves, they have not shot the ball well at all from behind the arc.
They haven't, and when you're a team that's not getting to the free throw line and sometimes not getting easy baskets, if the three-point shot was your major weapon and it's not going in for you, it causes you problems, and your offense then becomes stagnant.
Wisconsin is 1 for 7 from three-point range. Marquette trying to keep the momentum going here. Hostile environment at the Kohl Center as Blue goes right back to work. He has 9 in this game, and he is having a breakout performance on the floor of his hometown here in Madison.
Yeah, and the significance of the basket wasn't that Vanderbilt scored. It was that the Marquette came back out, ran a play, executed it, and got the basket the way they wanted it to start the second half to keep the momentum going.
Vanderbilt is coming off a game where he scored just 3 points against Jacksonville, but had 9 rebounds and 7 assists. He had a huge impact on the win. Evans cannot clean it up. And here come Marquette. Johnson Odom for 3. And Evans, actually that bounces back over. That's going to be a whistle going the other way. So 12-point lead, and let's take a look at today's Reese's Perfect combination. Darius Johnson Odom and Vanderbilt, outstanding backcourt at Marquette.
Yeah, not a lot of points you would say from DJO, but it was his penetration, his leadership, the little things that he's done. And Vanderbilt, again, I'm going to go back to that first layup, calmed him down a little bit. He was able to make plays without having the pressure on his back.
Only twice in the first half did Marquette get inside 10 on the shot clock. As Bruzewicz is open, he gets slapped on the arm, and he's going to the free throw line.
And that's the kind of play right there that can get this Wisconsin team going. You attack the basket, you get fouled, now you get to the free throw line. This is something that they've been looking for from Bruiser right here. Get inside, get dirty, draw the fouls in contact, now get to the free throw line and convert.
Here's an early decision here for Buzz Williams. He'll make a change as Jay Crowder has just picked up his 3rd foul. And that one finds its way home. So there's some foul trouble here for Marquette. Crowder with 3 looks like he's going to stay.
Boy,
remember it's going to be Mayo for Wilson.
Remember that foul earlier I talked about in the backcourt, first few minutes of the game? If you're going to foul, you want it in your comfort zone down inside the paint, not a cheap foul up top. Now you have 3 when you really should have only had 2.
Marquette's second leading scorer, Jay Crowder, with 3 fouls, and Buzz Williams showing a lot of trust in his veteran leader. As Johnson Odom is fouled, and they're going to get Gosser on the slap. Josh Gosser charged with a foul. Back to the free throw line goes Marquette.
Yeah, but Chris O'Toole did a great job of sealing Jared Burton inside, not allowing him to get out earlier, which allowed DJO to get to the basket. This is the second time that has happened this game. But, again, look how deep the dribble penetration was that time, John. Too deep.
Derek Wilson replaces Mayo.
So Derek Wilson is back in. There was a quick substitution there with Todd Mayo and Wilson. Wilson is back in there. And Darius Johnson Odom 1 out of 2. 35-24, an 11-point Marquette lead. We heard Sean Morris during the State Farm halftime report talk about Ryan Evans and his impact on this game. And you know Wisconsin would like to get Ryan Evans a little more involved here.
Well, 2 for 2. He had 2 open jump shots early in the game and kind of did not go back to Ryan. He possesses the skill set to shoot the open jump shot, but also score inside. So you want to see if he gets any more touches in the second half.
Crowder with a steal. Here comes Blue against Bruzewicz. Kicks it out to Johnson Odom. And a sweet little mid-range.
Yeah, but it's a smart play. Dribble penetration. Kicks it out to DJO. He has a step-back jump shot instead of forcing a layup. Just a nice little comfort zone. Getting out in transition, exploiting what Wisconsin is not doing well right now, which is getting back in cover.
Marquette has that look in their eye. On the road. They're 3 wins away from the Bradley Center, all neutral site victories as Evans cannot connect. Here comes Marquette. Blue, matched up by Gosser. Inside, and a banger inside, and O'Toole, and he's going to the line. He's 6'11" junior from Richmond. Bergeron hit with a foul.
Then watch the transition action here with Marquette getting back off of a steal, get out in the break. Vanderbilt right over to DJO. Now, Wisconsin is in great defensive position. They just weren't able to finish the play. Gave too much space for DJO to hit that jump shot.
O'Toole This is the first, and we have a timeout on the floor.
Timeout, Wisconsin.
O'Ryan not pleased. Marquette controlling things here at the Kohl Center. Marquette looking for a signature win on the road, a 13-point lead. And Jim, it all has to do with when the shots are taken for Buzz Williams when you play Wisconsin.
Well, yeah, and talking to Buzz Williams today at shoot-around, he brought up an interesting point. That last year, Wisconsin, you talk about time of possession that they had the basketball, was 25 minutes out of 40 minutes of a game, which means defensively as a team, you're on the court playing defense that long and maybe offense 15 minutes. If you look at the stats here, it just shows the differences in between philosophies between the two programs. But Marquette is still doing a very good job of when they have possessions that they're converting at a higher clip and taking advantage of their point guard play, dribble penetration, and transition baskets.
Simply stated, Marquette wants to go fast. They want to get shots off quickly in the shot clock. Wisconsin wants to take it down. And, you know, the 2 shots under 10 for Marquette, one of those came at the end of the first half. They purposely ran the clock down to get the final shot. So they're not waiting around very long.
Well, they're not, because they have players that can create opportunity.
A lot of damage down below, and that's going to be on Gosser. And he was hit pretty hard as he takes down 2 Golden Eagles. That's his 3rd foul, Jim.
Yeah, well, coaches always tell you, if you're going to leave your feet, leave for a shot. And that time he left his feet early, allowed Wilson to get in and get set and draw a charge. Trying to make a play, yes. An aggressive play, yes. But be smarter, a little bit smarter, and stay on the ground and still make that play.
Marquette a chance to add to their lead. Todd Mayo out to Johnson Odom. It's Bergeron in the air. And a whistle, 3-second violation. Turnover, Marquette, Wisconsin basketball. Now BTN goes where you want, when you want it, with BTN to go, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Watch live games and BTN original programming like The Journey, Big Ten Basketball 2012 on your computer, tablet, or smartphone. BTN to go is available at no extra charge to subscribers who receive BTN through their cable, satellite, participating video providers. Bergeron rips a 3. That's a big basket for Wisconsin. They needed that. 10-point game.
Yeah, and this game is far from over, out of reach. A little miscommunication that time by Marquette. Jared Bergeron able to step back into his comfort zone for an open 3-point shot.
There's Ballou, cannot hit, but an offensive board. Marquette another shot at it. Johnson Odom fires, got it.
And what a step back move to finish by DJO, but it was all created by the tip out for another opportunity for Marquette.
Johnson Odom, a senior out of North Carolina. He was the MVP of the Paradise Jam, a tournament that Marquette won. There are 3 road wins occurring in that neutral site venue. Evans underneath, knocked away, but a foul. Wilson skying for the block, but too much contact. Evans going to the line. Timeout on the floor. 12-point Marquette lead. And coming up, it's almost title time, and a couple of hoops guys talk the biggest football game in the history of the Big Ten. From that thrilling moment, one of the best moments in college football back in October. And the series history between Michigan State and Wisconsin on the football side. Of course, Michigan State winning the first one. Russell Wilson trying to send his Badgers to the Rose Bowl this year. It's coming up later tonight on Fox. We've got a full pregame show coming up for you on BTN just as soon as we're done here. Great day for sports in the Big Ten.
You know, I always say this, whether it's football or basketball, a Hail Mary, a half-court shot, you have to be in position for it to make sense, to make it work. If they're not down 6, then it doesn't matter. If you're not down 2 or 3 and hit that shot, so Michigan State put themselves in a great position to throw a Hail Mary to be lucky.
That might be what has separated Wisconsin from a chance at a national championship game. Don't forget, tonight BTN brings you extensive coverage of tonight's inaugural football championship game. Make sure you stay with us. Expanded pre- and post-game analysis before and after the game. That's coming up right after our game. Todd Mayo finds himself free, strong to the basket. Todd Mayo, younger brother of O.J. Mayo, and he is making a quick impact here at Marquette, just a freshman out of Huntington, West Virginia. And Mayo gets the foul on Jordan Taylor.
But another result of dribble penetration. The help couldn't get there in time. You get to the teeth of the defense. You pull up for an easy shot. You know, Marquette doing a great job of isolating their quicker players, either at the free throw line, extended, or on the wing, and then taking advantage of it.
Mayo now with 3 fouls. Marquette has 3 players with 3 fouls. Jamil Wilson, Todd Mayo, and Jay Crowder. Crowder and Mayo are on the floor here. That drought for Wisconsin between made field goals ended up 11 minutes on the game clock. 11 minutes, 9 seconds before the three-pointer. Brust in traffic. Shot clock at 10. And Taylor takes it to the basket. Well done, Jordan Taylor.
And that's what he can do late in the shot clock because he's so strong and powerful. He can finish at the rim.
Got a whistle underneath. And that's going to go against Wisconsin. You wonder if the 3 fouls on Jay Crowder had anything to do with how Taylor finishes at the rim here.
Well, he did, but the defense came late. Jay Crowder has to understand that he has to be in the paint a little bit earlier. If he's there, now Jordan doesn't have a straight direct line to the basket, but you like the fact that Jordan did not rush him. You said it earlier, Brian. When they get below 10 seconds in the shot clock, they don't panic. It's something they're accustomed to doing, so he was able to finish with an easy layup.
Jordan Taylor has 3 fouls now as well. Fall away from Johnson Odom is short. Taylor being hounded by Wilson.
And this is the time where you can get a little momentum. You scored off a last basket. Great defense. Now you come back and have a chance to cut into this lead a little bit more. A lot of time left in this basketball.
Bergeron, good look inside. Evans finishes.
That's the Wisconsin offense we're used to seeing. Great body movement, ball movement, dribble drive, nice bounce pass inside to Ryan Evans.
Marquette, they cannot answer. In and out, point blank for Vanderblue. Bruzewicz saves it. And Taylor wants to get into the set. Wisconsin down 8. And Taylor, that's going the other way. No basket. Offensive foul on Jordan Taylor, his 4th foul.
And that's the chance you take when you have a veteran player like Jordan Taylor, with Wilson in there in position to take the charge. Again, you put the onus on the referee. That time, the call was made that it was a charge, but you also put your faith and belief that Jordan Taylor, being a senior, makes the right decision.
Huge moment in this game. Taylor goes to the bench with the Badgers down 8. Marquette, chance to add to their lead. Darius Johnson Odom. That look halfway down. Rebound Crowder, strong to the basket, can't hit. Here's Bruzewicz. Tell me about the point guard position now for Wisconsin without Taylor.
Well, it's tougher because, one, now you have Ben Brust playing the point guard, not a playmaker like Jordan Taylor is.
Bergeron fires. Gasser keeps it alive. Here comes Mayo. One and done for Wisconsin as Mayo comes up short. And there's Brust with a rebound. Knocked away. Mayo. And Brust saves it to Evans. 3-on-1. Bruzewicz to Evans. A whistle and a blocking call. The basket went down, but the block was prior to. Wisconsin is asking for the bucket.
And pay attention right here to see if the block occurred before the shot went up. That's what the referees are discussing. That's what Bo Ryan is arguing about, saying that it could have happened simultaneously. That's a tough call. It is a tough call because things were going on simultaneously as the ball was being passed. He had not made contact yet. Ryan Evans going up for the basket. It looked as though Ryan got the shot up before the block call took place.
No basket. Wisconsin ball. 12:31 remaining in regulation. And Wisconsin going to have to do some work without Jordan Taylor. Brust, explosive to the basket. What a big shot. Marquette pushing it. Here's Wilson for three, a big man who shoots it. Offensive board, Blue. Vanderblue missed again, a short layup. That's back-to-back possessions for him.
What it is, Marquette has had 3 empty possessions where they had shot at point-blank range, haven't been able to convert. Now Wisconsin has momentum.
Gosser, no. Blue on the run. Bruzewicz matching up. Whistle. Offensive foul. Wisconsin ball. Whistles are flying here in half number 2. They'll take a timeout. Wisconsin on the move. BTN Basketball is presented by GMC. We are professional grade. And by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. Back in Madison, Wisconsin. Sun has set here, and we are set up for a great finish, it would appear. Marquette and Wisconsin. Buzz Williams was roaring mad during the timeout after a call at the other end. Jordan Taylor is on the bench with 4 fouls, and now if you're the Wisconsin Badgers, you're trying to check where your offense is coming from and how you get into your offense without Jordan Taylor at this point.
Well, what they've been able to do, the Badgers, is get back in defense. 2 questionable calls that got both coaches shaking their head. I thought that Vanderblue did a great job of avoiding a lot of contact. If you see it from a different angle, he comes on the side of Bruzewicz, but again, he was in position, so the ref felt it was a charge. But Wisconsin has done a better job defensively averting some of the easy layups that Marquette has missed, but then converting that into offensive opportunities at the other end of the court.
Wisconsin basketball and a 6-point Marquette lead. It is Gosser who will run the point. He and Brust will share the duties without Jordan Taylor. A lot of minutes left in this game without their All-America candidate Jordan Taylor on the bench with 4 fouls.
And see, this is where you miss a Jordan Taylor late in the shot clock to be able to create an opportunity not only for yourself, but for your teammates.
Gosser, 3-pointer is good.
That was a great job by Ryan Evans, taking the ball off the dribble as soon as he felt a little pressure, kicked it to an open Josh Gosser for 3.
It's a 14-4 run for Wisconsin, and they are back within 3. Jamel Wilson, and that's going to be a travel. 3rd traveling violation for Marquette with their big men in the paint.
Well, the fans at home, the Marquette fans, thought that maybe this would be a blowout. They got a little something different because this Wisconsin team, because of the style that they play, when they get back into it, and I see a little bit more pop in their step, in their passes, that they're executing it, and they're in a little bit of better rhythm right now.
Here's Brust. Clean to the basket. Ben Brust. So quick off the dribble. And Buzz Williams wants a timeout. It is a 1-point game. Wisconsin on a 16-4 run against Marquette. And doing a lot of that damage without Jordan Taylor.
Well, Wisconsin returning a favor. A little dribble drive penetration. You feel the pressure. Now you kick it up for an open jump shot. Then off the dribble. Then first able to take it to the baseline. Slow rotation by Marquette. Again, the rhythm is a little bit different with this second unit. Even though Jordan Taylor's out the game, sometimes what happens mentally as players, you lock in a little bit more because now you have to do a little bit more because your star player is not on the court.
Marquette ball with a 1-point lead over Bo Ryan's Badgers. Don't forget, Big Ten Football Championship postgame presented by State Farm. It is coming up. Game tonight on Fox. A great analysis pre and post game on BTN. What an appetizer here in Madison as Mayo answers. Big bucket for Marquette.
Yeah, and Ben Bruss has to put that left foot up a little bit higher and force the driver to the baseline side. You can't drop that left foot and give him the exact angle going to the basket.
The freshman Mayo has 10 points, playing with a lot of poise. Here's Evans. And a one and done. Devontae Gardner with a big board. Marquette trying to answer after the timeout. Johnson Odom inside. Juan Anderson knocked away by Evans. Evans swipes it away.
Yeah, it's a tough passing angle that time by Odom trying to get the ball into the post. Great overplay that time. Another chance for Wisconsin to cut into this lead.
Berggren matched up by Gardner. Berggren has not shot the ball particularly well. Did have the 1 3-pointer. Mayo out in front. Berggren lets him shoot, and it's off the rim.
It's another missed layup opportunity for Marquette.
There's a whistle from Terry Weimer, and I believe he is calling that on Ben Brust. We'll check that. Actually,
but watch the
injury,
scrum
no
and the scramble right now and the contact. I thought the football game was later on today.
Brust going in there heavy. Let me just make a correction here. No foul. That was an injury timeout as Mayo is now on the bench, shaken up. Blue is also out. So Devontae Gardner also the one taking the hit there. I think he got the worst of it, Devontae Gardner. Wisconsin down 3. Brust trying to make something happen. Here's Berggren, finds himself wide open, can't connect. With a baby hook. Johnson Odom, Mayo wide open for 3. And over the back, Juan Anderson with a foul. Wisconsin ball.
Yeah, Wisconsin got away with not being matched up in transition. You left Mayo open for an open jump shot. That's when you got to communicate. You don't want to give up those momentum type plays, because if Marquette would have hit that, the momentum now shifts back into the way of the Golden Eagles.
Saw Jamel Jones check in. Mayo, the freshman with 10 points, has 4 rebounds as well. And Darius Johnson Odom fired up on his way to the bench. He won't be there long.
No, he won't. And, you know, what we didn't talk about is, I think, the great job that Wisconsin has done on Jay Crowder. I mean, he's been quiet throughout most of the game. So they've been able to stick around by taking Marquette's best player out of the game.
Brust trying to wiggle free. A hot pass handled by Bruzewicz. Gets his zone, but it's knocked away. Strong inside presence by Marquette defensively. Big possession. On Anderson. Reverse finish. Anderson not getting a lot of minutes. Just his second game with Marquette this year. And another big basket for the Golden Eagles coming out of that timeout from Buzz Williams.
Perfect execution, but Mayo was able to get down in the lane again. And that created that drive opportunity for a dish on the baseline. Help can't get there quick enough.
Berggren off again. Or Berggren struggling shooting the basketball.
But they're getting the shots they want. You know, now it's the ability to knock them down, either off the dribble drive or the pick and roll. Wisconsin has open jump shots. They just need to see a few go in.
Berggren is just 2 for 8 in this game. One of his made shots was a 3-pointer. He's 1 for 5 from behind the arc. Knocked away Evans, another block. Anderson to Jones. Got it. Well, you talk about getting some major production from guys who normally don't contribute like this. Juan Anderson, Jamel Jones. Back-to-back possessions. Marquette has answered.
Well, a second shot opportunity off of offensive rebound. Something typically that Wisconsin does not give up on a consistent basis. This afternoon, Marquette has been able to take advantage of it.
And that'll be a foul on Jones. That's his first. Jones hitting a big basket, committing a foul. We got a wild one here at the Kohl Center. 7:02 remaining, a 7-point Marquette lead. Wisconsin with the ball. You want to get a little March feel in December, you put a rivalry like this together, and they have been playing basketball against each other since 1917. The 108th meeting, Marquette in Wisconsin. Buzz Williams, Bo Ryan, two fantastic coaches. Williams getting his career started at the high major. Of course, Bo Ryan, a staple here in Madison. A lot of foul trouble here. Marquette with a 47-40 lead. Buzz Williams has just one win against Wisconsin in his history. That was his first year in 2008. Bruzewicz on the line and hits the first.
Two programs that kind of mirror their coaches. One fiery, energetic, the other one the confidence, the composure. This is why this kind of rivalry heated. You see the early on in the game, it was a little adjustment, bumping going on. It means a lot to these players to come out of here and compete. And for Marquette to get a win here would be huge. But Wisconsin is not going away.
All right, keep an eye on Jordan Taylor. He is back in the game with 4 fouls as Johnson Odom connects.
And the thing Jordan has to be careful of is that Marquette's guards put so much pressure on you by dribble drive. And that's where those little cheap fouls sometimes you pick up on the perimeter, trying to play defense. And, of course, he can't leave his feet when he gets into the paint. You don't want to draw another charge.
The freshman, Derek Wilson, playing in today's game because Junior Cadogan, the Marquette starting point guard, out of today's game for a violation of team rules. It has not affected Marquette yet. Bergeron, no, another miss. Ball is free. Johnson Odom comes away with a loose ball, directing traffic. Vanderbilt has 9 points, looking for more. And what do we got? It's going the other way. Wisconsin basketball. Bruzewicz got ball, sounded like hand.
Oh, that's a great release right here by Bruzewicz, getting to the baseline, hand straight in the air, not contesting the shot with the body, but with his arms.
Vanderbilt looking for the call, didn't get it. And a turnover for Marquette. When Jordan Taylor left, Wisconsin was down 8. They cut it to within 1. Taylor returned. They were down 7, which is the differential now. It's Brust, back iron. And Marquette ball, blue. And Bergeron battling.
Another missed opportunity. Great ball movement by Wisconsin, but just could not finish the play by knocking down that open 3 by Brust.
Still have not seen Jay Crowder. He has been on the bench. 3 fouls. Now he's back in for the inbound.
And that's always the thing about a coach. When do you put a player back in the game? Especially one like Jordan Taylor with 7 minutes left who has 4 fouls. Is it at the 7-minute mark, 5-minute, 4-minute? You have to trust your player that he'll make the right decision when you do put him back in the game.
So Blue, Mayo, and Johnson Odom the guards. Mayo misses. Rebound Evans. Ryan Evans now with 7 boards to go along with 8 points. Badgers down 7. Game clock at 5 now in regulation.
And Blue is doing a terrific job of staying attached to Jordan Taylor, not allowing him to get any space, especially off a little down screen when he releases the ball.
Well, Taylor looks like he's hurt. Remember, Taylor had ankle surgery this offseason back in July. He went down and was able to get a timeout. See if we can pick something up here, Jim.
Well, just a little slip. Oh, yeah, stepped on his foot and like his ankle twisted over just a little bit. And it doesn't take a lot. Just watch Jordan as he plants his right foot right there. That little tweak right there can throw you off, and you can see some of the pain that's on Jordan Taylor's face.
So the right ankle for Jordan Taylor. And today's United States Marine Corps game leaders. There's Johnson Odom for Marquette, 13 points, 5 rebounds. Ryan Evans now 8 points, 8 rebounds for Wisconsin. Marine Corps game leaders. Just under 5 to go. Taylor back on the floor. Shot clock at 10. It's Johnson Odom who matches up with Taylor. And Taylor fires a three. Short. Marquette ball. Johnson Odom. Wow, some powerful play by the guard, Johnson Odom.
Yeah, and that's just upper body strength right there, because Wisconsin defender was in the position to take away the drive, but that was just power and being able to finish with contact by DJO.
Can Marquette finish this off? This is their biggest test of the year, Wisconsin. But a 6-0 start to try to go to a perfect 7-0 to start the season. And in control here, up 9 as Taylor hits.
And that's where Jordan Taylor's tough. 1-2 dribble, get his body squared up in the lane, able to pull up for a jump shot. A big defensive play right now by Wisconsin to try to cut this lead from 7 to 5.
Pretty quiet crowd here at the Kohl Center other than the student section. As Johnson Odom steps back, in and out, Bergeron battling. And it's O'Toole who comes away, but brushed with the carom. Boy, love the matchup underneath. Here's Brust. And now Bergeron. Whistle. It's going to be a foul on Marquette. We'll take a timeout. Wisconsin basketball. Can Jordan Taylor keep the Badgers in it and bring them back? All right, Dave, thanks. Looking forward to that. That's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great game. And we are enjoying a terrific day of Big Ten sports here today. Marquette and Wisconsin in a battle right now. You see the football story, Michigan State and Wisconsin. Michigan State winning that first meeting, the Hail Mary. Russell Wilson leading the nation in efficiency, and it'll be a Russell Wilson kind of game. And if Wisconsin is going to go to the Rose Bowl and make it a big day here in Madison, thanks to East Landing, hoping for a different outcome as Taylor is on the line. So Jordan Taylor, playing with 4 fouls, just rolled his right ankle a moment ago. We'll see how effective he'll be penetrating from this point on. Hits both.
Can't trust me, to Jordan, that little tweak in the ankle, yeah, it hurts, but he understands he has to go. He has to be full go and ready to go. And I trust that he will make the right decisions, because that's the type of player Jordan Taylor is. Big defensive possession for Wisconsin. Can Marquette execute the offense, get the lead back up to 7 points?
I figure Marquette wants to attack Jordan Taylor as best they can with 4 fouls. 3 minutes left in regulation. Johnson Odom. And an offensive board by Jake Crowder. And Marquette will use a little clock. They'll reset.
Marquette, you get the ball in the player's hand, they give you the best opportunity. Of course, that's there's Johnson Odom. Rotate, run a little seconds off the shot clock, but I'm sure at the end of the play, they'll get it back into his hands to try to create something.
Oh, what a pass. Knocked away. Bergeron, great recovery defensively. Here's Taylor. The Badgers down 5. Marquette looking for a stop. Taylor and Mayo goes right by him. That is why he is one of the premier point guards in the country.
Did you see the hesitation, the patience, the hesitation back? Once the defender slides back in, Jordan Taylor immediately attacked the basket.
So a 3-point game. Crowd matched up by Evans. The cutter, Mayo. High arcing shot over Bergeron. Todd Mayo.
What touch. Running away from the basket to be able to hit it high off the top with a soft touch to fall in. Great play by Mayo.
He's got 12. Minute and a half left. Brust throws it away. Marquette ball.
First of all, Jordan Taylor right here. Patience off the screen and roll. A little hesitation. Finish with the left on the next play. Great pass by Crowder. But look at the touch. high off the glass, momentum going away from the back.
That was impressive. Wisconsin now 12 turnovers. It ties a season high. Mayo will take it. In and out, a putback. Devontae Gardner. Marquette, the last two possessions. Two big baskets. On the floor is Jay Crowder. And an injury timeout here is Buzz Williams. Youth be served. The freshman Mayo in the last two possessions finished by Gardner.
Timeout, Marquette.
Well, you see now double penetration inside. Jerry Burton has to help. And once he's helped, he doesn't have great rebounding position. And now you can sneak in there and get an offensive rebound by Gardner.
55-48, 7-point Marquette lead. Wisconsin will have the ball. And our Horizon key connection, Josh Gosser, 7 points. Ryan Evans with 8 points, 8 rebounds. Jordan Taylor, however, has scored the last 6 Wisconsin points. If there are any questions about his penetrating ability, answer that on the last possession.
Well, you would have to cut that ankle for Jordan Taylor not to be able to finish this type of game.
Well, the ankle he rolled earlier is the ankle he had surgically repaired in July.
You know, Brian, I'm just impressed with the guard play. But there's been another guy.
This is what the referees are looking at, and they're looking at this replay. Remember, Jordan Taylor with 4 fouls. There was no whistle on the play, but Crowder went down in a heat. And there was a whistle on the play. Referees can go to the monitor, check the replay, make a decision on a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2. No more intentional foul in the college game. So Terry Weimer is checking this replay.
And I guess it's all about did Jordan Taylor use his backside to create space.
There's Terry Weimer. And we'll play it straight up here. Don't forget, pregame show coming up. Great analysis from Indianapolis, Michigan State, Wisconsin football. Headed your way tonight. The game can be seen on Fox. You can catch the pre and the post game on BTN. Dave and the gang standing by from Indy. So Terry Weimer just came over here to tell us no call, just playing defense.
I like that call because you don't want that to impact either team. One, a foul on Jordan Taylor at the end, or Crowder's 4th foul either.
Berger for 3. Monster shot. No good. Brust for 3. Game on. Ben Brust. Deadly from behind the arc. His first 3-pointer, and it is a 4-point game just under a minute.
Well, long shots produce long rebounds, and if you're not in position, the guards to engage to get it, guess what? You give your opponent another opportunity. You see Bergen right there with the miss. Ben Brooks chases down the long rebound, squares his feet, lets it go, drops it in 3. Now we have a 4-point game.
4 of the last 5 matchups between Wisconsin and Marquette decided by 5 points or less. Big Ten Football Championship pregame. Brought to you by State Farm. It is coming up just as soon as we are wrapped up here in Madison. And they are standing by. There's Dave and the gang. Got all that analysis, all that made up, ready to go. In the green room, all the M&Ms have been had. And now it's showtime for those guys. And this concludes a triple header of terrific men's college basketball on BTN. All right, Marquette ball, it presses on. This is where the guards really come into play for Marquette. And a foul on Evans. Crowder, an excellent free throw shooter. It's only the team foul. And the 3rd on Evans. And 1 more for bonus.
And this is where you want to play aggressive defense, Ryan, but you don't foul. You want to force Marquette to take a tough shot, try to get a steal. You don't want to send them to the free throw line unless Bo is directing them to foul right where they get more possessions.
Gasser with a foul. Brust was coming in from behind looking for the trap. Now Johnson Odom will head to the line. 1-on-1 situation in the bonus the rest of the way for Marquette.
Now it becomes a free throw shooting kind of contest. Can Marquette knock down the free throws, knowing that Wisconsin, if they make or miss, will foul?
Marquette has been a very good free throw shooting team. 72% as a team. Darius Johnson-Odom shooting 77%, has the first one.
And that's the importance when coaches talk to their teams early in the season about making free throws, and that when you practice that every one counts. Because late game situations, you can win or lose a game if you miss or make the free throw.
Johnson-Odom gets them both. Big free throws for Marquette. And now up 6 points with 51.9 remaining as Williams takes the timeout.
30-second timeout.
Darius Johnson-Odom, the senior from Raleigh. And he is putting together quite a ball game here today. Pretty quiet in the first half. Now 17 points, and he's hit 5 out of 6 from the free throw line. He is our GMT professional grade player of the game.
But he did it without forcing things, and that's for sure. He knew that he probably wasn't getting the shots or the touches early, but he also understood that Mayo was playing really well. Okay, dribble penetration, Vanderblue.
Just a reminder, coming up next, Big Ten Football Championship pregame show presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Coming your way as soon as we're done here. And the boys are standing by in Indianapolis. Wisconsin ball. 6-point Marquette lead, still a 2-possession game. Gasser passes up a 3. He'll go to the basket. Unable to get it. Brust comes away with a loose ball. There's Taylor. Gasser lets it go again. Here's Brust for 3. In and out. Rebound. Wilson. Marquette ball 6. Foul on Taylor. He's gone.
The Wisconsin calls on Jared Bergeron.
Check that. Bergeron gets the foul, not Taylor. So Bergeron hit with a foul. Marquette will go to the free throw line. Well, Buzz Williams was anxious to see where his team stood. A 6-0 start is one thing. They have not played a team like Wisconsin at this point. And yet they are 29.2 away from a huge win on the road.
Well, I said at the beginning of the game that both teams had something to prove. From Marquette, were they as good as their 6-0 record? I think they've answered the question by coming into the Kohl Center. The game is not over yet, but taking this game down to the wire. But Wisconsin, could they recover from a tough loss on the road at North Carolina, the game they thought they should have won?
Wisconsin has not lost a game here at the Kohl Center since February 2010 against Illinois. 23 in a row. Taylor fires a 3. And that's the way it's gone for Wisconsin. Marquette ball.
And think about it in the terms of what Wisconsin was able to accomplish. Right now, Marquette has 59 points. They average 88. That's 29 points under their average. So Wisconsin did the job defensively to hold this team, but they weren't able to capitalize it from an offensive end perspective.
Mayo with an exclamation point. And Marquette is on their way to a monster victory in the month of December, and they will move to 7-0 for the season as Bergeron hits a 3. Timeout on the floor. Last time Wisconsin lost on this floor, we mentioned it was February 2010. 23 in a row on the line here today. It was February 9th. Badgers welcomed Illinois to the Kohl Center. A rough night for Wisconsin. They shot just 26% from the field. Dimitri McCamey had a game-high 27. And the Fighting Illini won 63-56. Rare loss for the Badgers at the Kohl Center, and it feels Similar here today. Wisconsin shooting just 32% from the field in this game, and from three-point range, they're at 26%. Their three-point shooting has vacated in the last 2 games.
And it's hard to kind of quantify why that is, because this team has been getting the kind of shots that they're accustomed to getting, right? But they haven't knocked them down. It's different if their percentage was skewed because they pushed shots up from the three-point line. That's not the case.
This is what's left for Marquette. They have a timeout remaining. Wisconsin does not. And both teams in the bonus at this point. It's Marquette basketball. Up 7. Bo Ryan, as head coach at Wisconsin, is 78-5 at the Kohl Center against non-conference opponents. But one of those 5 losses was against Marquette in the Tom Crean. And now Buzz Williams is just over seconds from putting a signature win on his register this year. Jay Crowder with the inbounds. And there's Johnson and Odom easily breaking the press. Without their starting point guard, June Cadogan, Marquette overcomes Buzz Williams and the Marquette Golden Eagles with a big win here at the Kohl Center this afternoon. That was very impressive for Marquette to come into this venue and win this game.
It was, but they did it in a workmanlike manner, took care of the business, exploited opportunities they had, especially off the dribble.
Our final score, Wisconsin loses to Marquette 61-54. Coming up next on Big Ten Network, Big Ten Football Championship pregame. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of the Big Ten Network. Now let's go to Dave Revson and the gang in Indy.